Okay, this is take 2 of Who is Aaron Edmonstone. Aaron Edmonstone Thompson lives in Portland, Oregon, and I met him at Occupy Wall Street, September 17th, 2011. I had a bad feeling right away. He chased off a friend who was going to have coffee and basically proceeded to corner me and chase off the opposition, so to speak. I noticed these tendencies right away, along with some general high intelligence things that I am definitely very attracted to. Within a few days, he showed me a blog written about him called Who is Aaron Edmonstone. He goes by Edmonstone, a Scottish family name from his father's side of the family, but his real name is Thompson, and I think maybe I don't know if he's ruining the Edmonstone brand really, because this blogger had basically accused him of attempting to bribe him and get him involved with things, and a lot of things about intelligence agencies and geopolitical things, which I appreciated about him. But at some point his obsessions border on delusional kinds of things, and I found him really interesting to have around because he's so knowledgeable about so many things, and I then became kind of fascinated by what his mind is doing and how does it work. But the immediate roping of me into his psychological games and dominance and control, and he always wanted to talk about these things that were very foreign to me, including a relationship, which we didn't have any relationship other than he was some guy I met who I had bad feelings about. But I think as it developed, we did some creative partnership and hung out together. In some ways he saved my life by helping me find places to stay in England when I was completely flat broke, or he footed the hotel bills. But the intensity of his affection for me then became very scary to me. He threatened to destroy my property and was very invasive of my life from the get-go, and trying to move in with me the second he met me, essentially, or within a day or two. So just as a warning to people, there are a lot of Occupy predators. There might be predators at your church and your school, places where you expect the best in human nature and you get the worst, even under a progressive leftist politics. The controllingness that he tried to inflict on me, I told him was like Sharia, and that really offended him in terms of me implying that he's being patriarchal and controlling of me, but he actually really was, and he might have been that way if I were his guy friend too. So I don't know if it was necessarily about him thinking of me as a woman, but more about what his social needs are, not having any respect or boundaries for my work. So it was really painful in a way to become friends with him and then lose his friendship with his threats to hex my computers, his constant promise of money from his family, and then his trying to show me rape pornography. This last night we hung out, and one way I keep thinking about in my mind is that if you acquire a stalker and your stalker is so persistent or so charming that they suddenly graduate to friend, and then from that they get very romantically possessive and controlling to the point where they don't even want you to have coffee with your previously arranged friends. It's really kind of a dangerous situation, and I think the trouble with me is that I'm often very solitary, but I really actually cherish my solitude now and the freedom that it brings, and the freedom from his emotions and his thoughts and his control and his restriction, which when he came back from Scotland in March, I was soon to find out that he wanted complete control of my attention at all times. So it quickly went very much downhill, resulting in me committing a very extreme act of violence against myself, which I survived, and really bad headaches due to attacking myself. I was demanding him to apologize to me for his verbal abuse, and he wouldn't. And he turned it all around and blamed me for his verbal abusing me. So it just made me really, really worse depressed than ever. Obviously, because I haven't done anything so violent to myself ever in my whole life, actually. And it's kind of a secret, but now the internet will know. And anybody who's going to push me to that brink by cornering me, harassing me, verbally abusing me, encroaching on me, putting romantic demands and sexual demands on me that I don't feel mutually is worthy of getting called out, because I think it's a progressive pattern where he's going from person to person and using them and utilizing them and working his charisma and charm to kind of, what little of it is evident. He basically impressed my Los Angeles friends with being quite rude and controlling and prosaic. So best of luck to his next victims. I hope you get out alive. I did.